Hey guys, it's David from LT Graphics, and I'll be teaching you guys how to colorize a black and white picture. Now, I'll make sure to leave this picture down in the description, that way you guys can work on the picture while you watch this video tutorial. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so first off, once you get the picture, you want to make sure you get a copy of the picture. You can do this by hitting Ctrl J, or by simply right-clicking on the picture and clicking duplicate layer. Now once you do this, you want to click a new layer and select the quick selection tool. After you select the quick selection tool, you can basically work any way that you want. You can work on the skin color, the helmet, the uniform, or the background. But for this video, I'll be working on the skin color first, then I'll move on to the helmet, and then the uniform, and then the background. So let's make sure we select the face. Now you can select the face by using the quick selection tool, or you can use any other tools. But for the purpose of this video, I want to make sure this video is not that long, so I'll be using this quick selection tool. Now, as you can see, once you use the quick selection tool, this tool might not be the most accurate tool, but surely gets the job done. As you can see, sometimes it selects things that you don't want to select. For example, this whole left side. Now you can get rid of this by clicking the minus sign to subtract from selection. Now let's do that right now. This will basically get rid of these selections that you did not want to select in the first part. So once you get that done, which might take a little time because it's not the easiest thing, this might actually be one of the hardest things, selecting the areas that you want to work on. It might get a little complicated. Now I'm gonna teach you guys this trick. You want to click Shift Q. Once again, Shift and Q. This will make the selected regions red. Now, if you want to select something, you want to make sure you have black, and then use the brush tool. This basically gives you freedom to which you can select anything you want which you are painting on. For this instance, I want to select these little portions of the helmet. Now you also want to make sure that you select the eyes, because you don't want the eyes having skin color, because that's that's just not normal. So let's select that real quick. Once again, in order to get this screen or this tool, you gotta click Shift and then Q at the same time. And in order to deselect or go back to the original screen, you would simply click the same key, Shift and Q. As you can see, it basically selected everything that I painted on. All of the red areas are now selected. Now that you have selected all the areas, you want to create a new layer, and this will be the layer that you'll basically be putting the color in. So for the skin color, it'll be a little tricky actually. You can have you want to choose a I want to say a brownish color and something that looks like skin color basically. Now I've saved these the skin colors, but you can basically get them by selecting the color tools. So let's go on ahead and once you get the color, you want to basically color everything in. Now you're gonna say, wait, it does not look right. I mean, the color, everything behind the color is basically lost. Now, this is where you want to click on normal, and you want to go from normal to either overlay, soft light, or color. Now let's try color. Now this looks a little too yellowish. Now let's try soft light. Now that looks a little more realistic. An overlay makes it look a little darker. Now I'm gonna actually try different skin colors to make sure which one looks the best. Okay, now let's try the last skin color. This one will be a little more darker. And by the way, if you guys want the numbers for the colors, the first one that I did was basically, I believe it was this one, the middle one. And here are the numbers, so you guys get the same color. If you guys want to just copy them down and write them down later. This one was the second color. Here are the numbers for that. You guys can pause the video and write them down. And the last one that I used was this one. Okay, so now that you have the colors, you can basically get the same exact color. Now, let's try and see which one looks better. This is color, soft light, and overlay. I think I'll be working with soft light when it comes to skin. I think it gives it the most realistic color. So let's check out which one looks the best. They look quite similar, but I'll be using this one actually. I like this one. Let's delete these. Okay. Now, once you get the skin color, you want to make sure you delete the shaded regions, like for example, right here, around here, because once you try to color the picture when it comes to skin, it will leave this weird this over blackish kind of color. So you want to make sure you grab the eraser tool and put the opacity down to about 21, I would say. And just you want to make sure you make a copy in case you want to go back to the same color. So now I just start deleting a little bit. This will make the picture look more realistic at the end. Bring this down a little more, about 11. So once again, you want to delete a little bit from the shaded regions, for example, the eyes and the eyebrows. You don't really have to do this. This is just like if you want to make the picture look more realistic, which I hope you do if you're watching this video. Now from here, if this is too light, you can also make another copy and bring down the opacity. This will make the skin color stand out a little more. You can also make it overlay, which will make it a little more dark and looks a little more realistic now. From here, let's paint the eyes, the eye color. Now the eye color should be pretty simple. You can basically pick any color that you want. For this one, I think I'll be picking blue. Let's go back to my swatches. Pick blue. Let's try this one. Now you can try either color. You can also try soft light. Depends which one you want. Just want to paint over the eye and delete the portions that go past the eye. We bring back this to 100. Let's try a soft light and overlay. I think this one looks better for color. Bring the opacity down so it looks more realistic. Something cool that I like to do is once you put the opacity down, you make a new copy and click overlay. This will sometimes make the eyes more realistic, or the colors look more realistic. Looks about right. Now let's make the chain a little wider. Okay, so now let's work on the helmet. For this instance, the helmet has to be green. So let's make sure you select the helmet. There we go. So there we go. You might actually want to deselect this little band in the helmet. So let's do that real quick. Select deselect and simply start deselecting it. For this case, you might actually want to use the tip that I showed you. You click Control Q, and from here you want to make sure it's black and just color over the thing. But of course, if this isn't your thing, you can always use the quick selection or any kind of selection tools. You have the pen tool, the quick selection, and some other tools. Now of course this will take longer, but at the same time it will give you a better result at the end. There we go. Now hit Shift Q to go back and simply start coloring. Make a new layer. I'm gonna write down helmet. Oops. Now for this one you can pick any type of green, but I like using this one. Now here are the colors, so you guys can get the same exact color and start painting over it. Now you want to click color, and then from this you'll notice that it's too bright, so I'm gonna make another copy, and you want to click Control U. So this will bring the hue and saturation, which you basically want to bring this almost all the way down till right there. Then you want to make a new copy. Now Control J, and you want to make sure you click Overlay. Now this will give it this cool effect, and it makes it look way nicer than before. Now let's paint the war is hell in brown. So I will be using Control Q again. Almost done. Okay, there we go. Now once again, click Shift and Q. Now you simply want to color over it. Let's grab. I'll be making this brown, so let me select brown. You want to make sure you click Shift I, Control Shift I, and that will make you that would allow you to actually draw on the layer. Now simply click color or soft light. Soft light gives it a more realistic color, so I'll be keeping this one. Now let's move on to the uniform. Now I believe it is green, the same as the helmet, so let's select that real quick. Deselect the remaining parts of the picture. Okay, there we go. Now make a new layer, and I'll be using the same green, same colors as before, and paint this over the layer and select color. Now I always like making a new copy just in case I mess up and I can go back. You can always hide it. You want to click Control U or bring the hue and saturation layer, bring this down, and you can basically leave it like this, or you can make a new copy and make this either soft light or overlay. I'll be keeping soft light. You can always bring this down if that's too dark. So there we go. Now let's work on his lips. Now that I notice that his lips are the same color as the skin color, let's delete that and fix it. Okay, there we go. Had 2 layers on it, so I gotta delete both of them. Okay, now you wanna make a new copy and select red. It doesn't matter which red you pick. I'll be picking a bright red. We can fix the color later on. And you wanna select the lips. I'm using Control Shift Q again and selecting the regions. Okay, now you want to select the lips. You actually want to use white because you are deselecting the area. Now sometimes it won't let you draw on the specific layer, so you want to make sure you hit Control Shift I, which is the inverse. Now let's see if it'll let me actually color on it. You want to click color and red. Okay, so right now it's letting me color on it, so you don't have to worry about that. But as the last example where I couldn't color on this part, you want to click Control Shift I. Okay, once you're done with the lips, you can basically lower the opacity until you get the right color. You can also bring down the hue and saturation and bring these down. There we go. You can also, like, if you don't like the color, you can also make a new layer. Click soft light. Bring this down a little, whichever one you like. I'll be leaving like this for right now. Now let's work on the background. Now the background, I'm not really sure what's behind him right now, but I'll be guessing it's probably dirt or grass. So I'll be painting this brown. Now you want to select the background. There we go. Deselect the portions you don't want. Once you're done doing that, you can make a new layer and start coloring brown. Select the brown. I'll be selecting this one. Here are the numbers for the color. Let's start. Now that you're done painting, you can either make it color, soft light, or overlay. Whichever one fits the picture better. And for this case, I think soft light does the work. You can also bring down the opacity to bring down the color. And there we go. Now you're done with the picture. If you don't like the skin color, you can always edit the skin color. Make it look brighter, darker. Really depends what you really want. So basically right now we're done with the picture. We got all of the colors, and if you want to enhance the picture, you can always select all the layers, always make a copy, so you click Ctrl J or right click and duplicate the layer. Now you want to make sure you got everything in one layer, so in order to do that, you click Ctrl E, which basically puts everything under one layer. Now you want to go to Filter and Camera Raw Filter. Now not every single Adobe Photoshop will have this feature. This is basically, I believe only Photoshop CC and C6 has this one. So if you don't have it, don't worry about it. This is just in case that you have it, you can always use it. Now this basically lets you mess around with all the settings, and you can basically pick whatever makes it look better. You can adjust the contrast, highlights, shadows, whites. So let's do that right now. Okay, that looks about right. So I believe that'll be it for this video. If you guys have any questions, make sure to comment below, and I'll be happy to answer them, or make another video explaining something that I missed, or whatever you guys want me to go over. Alright, thank you guys. Thanks for watching.